Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 1st of October, and we've got a little bit of rain out there, especially north of the Bay Area. Some areas south have some light scattered showers. We'll pull up the radar right now. You move this out of the way, and you'll see the scattered showers pretty much to the east right now, up in LaPorte, up in Quincy. But this line of showers moved through the Bay Area, through Central California, Northern California over the last 24 hours, dropping pretty much similar rainfall to what we just saw 24 hours prior. So let's push a loop on this and we'll watch, see how it kind of moves. I think we'll pick it up. Yeah, so you can kind of see it's not well organized, the system. Very similar to the last one. Pretty typical for this time of year. What I mean by this time of year, we're in fall, the transition season, and these storms don't quite have enough push. This is Cottonwood. They got 0.2 of an inch of rain up there. This is in the last hour as of 8:30. So this happened actually about 8 o'clock this morning, maybe 8:15. The light scattered showers. So 1/4 of an inch in Cottonwood up in Redding. Today, though, Cottonwood goes 68 degrees. So it's going to warm up a little bit. What does this do for fire danger? Right? It does a lot. This is Lake Tahoe. This is over by... Lake Tahoe got 0.02, and their daytime high today is going to be about 62 degrees, so not very warm up there. I imagine, as yesterday, I think Mount Shasta got a little bit of snow. Hard to see up there because of all of the cloud cover. This is Bolinas, the Bolinas Lagoon out front, and I'll loop this again. And you just sort of see the light scattered showers falling out. So Bolinas today, well, they got, over the last 24 hours, they got over a 1/2 inch of rain, which makes sense. They face south a little bit, so the moisture comes in. You can almost see it hitting you can see it hitting the hills, getting orographically lifted and producing showers. In this spot, the Bolinas Lagoon, you're kind of facing, you are facing towards the south. So that's a southerly wind, a weather system like last night comes in, it pushes everything up into that corner, and it's like a lens and lifts it mechanically. So that's what we've got. We've got light scattered showers around the area. That continues today. Here is the next kind of weather system that's really not going to have much of an impact at all. We'll look at that on the latest model. Here is the current system. It's early enough that we're not really seeing much in terms of features, right? Because it's visible satellite for the most part, and it picks up light, and when there's no light, you don't get a lot of cloud cover, but you do see some clouds up around Lake Tahoe. You see offshore, a little bit of clearing down towards Southern California. It looks like fog's not an issue. That system, this system here, impacting this far south, believe it or not, breaks up that inversion a little bit. And so without that inversion, the fog has a tough time forming. So these are the rainfall accumulations over the last 24 hours. I'm going to back it out. And the first thing I do, the best way to look at this model is, it's actually data, rainfall, is to go, okay, look at the colors. So that's where the blues over a 1/2 inch, the dark greens just under a 1/2 inch, and so on and so forth. So you get your eyeballs, you go, okay, well, that's right where the model said we were going to see the most rain in these areas. And that's in fact the case. Coastal hills did okay, but the line was pretty much from about from about Santa Cruz to Tahoe in terms of the rain line, north and south, the haves and the have-nots. But nice to see. I mean, awesome for fire danger. Now, so over the last couple of days, we've seen even more rainfall. Let me pull that up for you. This is 48 hours, and I pulled back. So this is the state. You can kind of make it out because this is California Nevada River Forecast Center. So it's all kind of out in that western drainage. And you can see where the rain fell. And over the last 2 days, in some areas, the hot spots were over 2.5, 3 inches of rain for this time of year. And in this area, right, I'm not even pulling up watch duty. I'm not even going to pull it up, or the air quality, because this is a really awesome pattern for us. And Southern California has been benefiting as well with light scattered showers and drizzle as far south as Fresno, in some of the lakes there, Shaver Lake and areas north, getting some light scattered showers. So pretty awesome. Here is the model. This is the HRRR. And again, it's going to be an HRRR kind of day because it's hour by hour updating, and this weather system is not well organized. So you kind of want to go, you want to be nimble with this. So if you're timing this out and you've loaded this up, this model, which is on my links, it's called College Edu page, you can just click through it and go, okay, well, I live, first of all, you see our line right here, and you see where all the instability or most of the dynamics are, the vorticity, if you will, which we've talked about. This is this morning, mid-morning, and then here we are still there. And you see, I mean, what do you do with that? Unless you're, up around Redding, Red Bluff, you guys are getting some stuff. This is this afternoon. And then this would be, I mean, that line just stays put. So this is this afternoon. So we just went through the whole day. So back it up. That's the whole day. So I don't know. I don't change my plans on that. I just go, you know what? It is what it is. And some of those live cameras I showed you in Northern California, so let's say that Cottonwood camera, I think that's kind of how it looks today. Let's take a look back. Cottonwood. This is Cottonwood. And this is kind of how it goes today. Yeah. Especially in the North Valley, north of the Bay Area of that line. And, that's kind of a drag right there if you're pouring concrete, but shouldn't be enough to really cause a problem. And the model is suggesting the very same. So that's the HRRR. Here is the GFS, 500 millibar vorticity. There's the parent low. Here it is. And then, oops, I want you to see that. And then here it is up here. We'll see it again. It'll rear its head. But this parent low is what's going to keep us in the cool or the mild, steady as she goes weather pattern. So first of all, you're not fire dangers off the headlines. It's never gone. Even in winter, I don't think it's gone anymore, but it's never really gone. So, but this is awesome, right? So air quality, fire danger, the kinds of things that really stick out this time of year that are, I don't know about you, but my whole career has been spent just fingers crossed, holding my breath through September and October until we get those first rains. And this, I'm holding my breath still, but this is really, you can't end fire season with this amount of rain, but you can freaking really make a dent, and I think we are. So there is the low. It stays put. This is Thursday morning, okay? So there, maybe a little something there Thursday morning. And then the low drops in over the top of us, maybe a little something for Lake Tahoe on Friday afternoon. And then it just keeps going. I'm not going to get granular with this. I'm just going to show you, see how there's the reds and the yellows, the vorticity, that's positive vorticity. And it stays in the area, and the jet stream stays close to us all the way through here's the first break. So October 15th. It starts to ridge. See the ridge coming up? And now the reds and the yellows. I know it's not technical, but that's what we're looking for in this map, vorticity. Kind of stay away a little bit, except for this tropical disturbance down here and this trough to the north, but there's the ridge. So let's do this. I kind of want to see what the GFS does. Let's go surface. Hang on. Where's my surface mom? Speed. Surface, precipitation. Let's go precipitation. Let's go precipitable water. Let's just go precipitation right there. Okay, let's go sea level pressure and precipitation. That's what I wanted. Sorry to make you endure that. And then let's change the perspective. Let's go state. Okay. So that was painful, I know, but I kind of just want to see what the GFS does out further. I didn't at first. I thought I'd spare you that, but now I'm interested. So here is today. This is not the granular model. This is today, tomorrow. See the dashed lines? The thicknesses representing a cooling trend. See how they drop down? Not aggressively, but that's that low dropping in, bottoming out. That's Thursday afternoon. Okay, now we're getting, that's kind of what we already looked at in the HRRR. Now we're moving into uncharted waters into the weekend. Okay, still cool though. Look at the dashed lines. See how they're dropping in? That's that low center. I don't know if you can pick that up or not, but we can just look for blues and greens. Okay, so kind of Southern California down there, some subtropical moisture. That's on the 10th of October. Look at that. That's interesting. Of course, that would be sort of a monsoonal thing. All right. Okay. Okay. So it appears what we've just seen is, okay, the HRRR says this all agrees, all agrees, all agrees, all agrees. And then what this shows me without looking at it is that the precipitable water is not happening because the dynamics are in here. That low that drops in are here, but the water is not available. So we look at now total accumulation. This is a cheater map in that it's just kind of like, yeah, let's just see where it's going to rain over the next few days. And you can see in the amounts, and it's accumulating. So here is Thursday morning. That's not much. Look at these numbers. Like, well, again, up around Red Bluff, 0.38. Wow, they got a bullseye. They're expecting some kind of convection up there, perhaps. This part of the valley, we've talked about this, but see that yellow area? This would be representing rainfall amounts. But it does a thing. Whereas, remember I was saying like Bolinas earlier, how that south wind kind of gets in there and funnels it into the Bolinas Lagoon because it's got a little topography and it's like a lens. So the air comes in, gets smushed in there, compressed, and the mountains do their magic, right? You get lift and it holds it there. So it keeps going, kind of like a west slope of the Sierra Nevada thing, but even more so because it's facing south. Well, what else faces south? This area here, these mountain ranges around here are a lens. And anything that comes up in here, Redding, and it really kind of seems like it starts in Red Bluff, this funneling. I'm sure there's some of the hardcore meteorologists would have some new data on this, but back when I was in school, we recognized this zone as a huge rain and even severe weather producer. We get a lot of F1 tornadoes, not a lot, but you get some F1 tornadoes up there because it gets funneled into that corner. And you picture Redding and the Trinity Alps and then Mount Shasta and then Mount Lassa, and that's a funnel. So this is picking up that, I think. And so that's what we're seeing is more rain. And then this is, remember, back to what we're doing, this is accumulation. So this is accumulation through Saturday, October 4th, Saturday morning, right? And so that's not very much rain. It's an unsettled week ahead. The rain line continues where it has been, right? From about Monterey Bay, right? Kind of like that. And again, that's where the strongest dynamics are. That's where the main trough is. Okay, that's sort of interesting. Okay. All right, so we did weather, right? All right, yes, we did. Yes, we did. This is South Lake Tahoe. No snow. I'll bet they got a little snow up high, maybe like a flurry or two. South Lake Tahoe today is going to go 64 degrees, and they've got 2/100 of an inch of rain thus far. This is Big Bear Lake, where the eagles reside. And just beautiful clear day. Big Bear is going to go, what's the temperature on you guys today? 78 degrees. Looks pretty nice. Good air quality. And again, for this time of year, to not have a bunch of smoke is awesome. And I think we're coming up on Mount Tam, which has a bit of rain. And then this is the last 30 minutes. And this is basically just showing us how consistently that thing wrings out water. Because the dynamics, like if I pull up the radar, I did this yesterday and I got burned. But see how it just keeps coming. It's Mount Tam, right? So we'll go back here and we'll look, and if you look hard, you don't see much on Mount Tam. Last loop, right? But that's moisture. That moisture coming in there is enough to create the rain. So let's do this. I'm bouncing around, man, only because I'm sort of. Here we go. Let's go Mount Tam and see what they did on this map. It gets a little chunky. Thanks for hanging in, you guys. Okay, yeah. Middle peak, about 1/2 inch right in here. So, yeah, and that's what we just witnessed was middle peak pulling some showers. And that's that right there. So what we just did is what I'd like you to do is look at the HRRR, look at the radar, look at the live camera, and bounce back and forth. Now, especially for the short range forecast, which is really what most of us do because we're kind of, can I get my golf game in? Can I go shopping? Can I get a run in? Especially in the winter months. These are the forecast highs for today. And still very pleasant. Eureka, that's interesting. 67 degrees. So they're going to get some clearing up there in Eureka. I mean, when's the last time you saw Eureka and Redding at the same temperature forecast? That doesn't happen. Doesn't even really happen in the winter. It's usually much warmer at the coast. And then San Francisco 69, and then all this red represents heat, but it's been adjusted. It's not summertime red, it's fall. So these temperatures are all pretty manageable. Fresno 82 degrees, Los Angeles 76, San Diego 76. That's kind of a nice day. I really like this pattern. I hope that it's not messing with any of your plans. I know a lot of folks, have, I think hardly strictly bluegrass is this weekend in the park in San Francisco, which is awesome, which will be fine. But I know there's outdoor stuff, and people get a little sketchy because they want it warm. Especially, actually, I'll go and get park this time of year for hardly strictly bluegrass is awesome. I went to the very first one up in, they actually have it at Sugar Bowl. Warren Hellman actually was a friend, great guy. But he used to have a place up at Sugar Bowl, and they started it up there. I went to the first one. It was the Blasters, and I can't remember who else played in it. It was really good, though. And now it's turned into what it is, which is a huge, huge event, free concert in the park. Here's the parent low. That's wintry looking. And then, that's what you see, the parent low, basically. And we'll look at the forecast highs for today. And what we're looking at are temperatures down around Memphis, 91 degrees, Houston, 94, Oklahoma City, 90. So very warm. So, I just noticed. So where's the trough? And see the heat? There's the ridge. And then there's the trough. So I think that's pretty. And see how the cooler air resides to the north. The warmer air is underneath, driving up that ridge. So if we go, let's do this. Well, let's do this. Let's go trough. Let's do it again because now you can see it. We just did that using surface temperatures, isotherms. Now we're going to do this using upper air satellite. So there's the ridge, pretty clear to see, and there's the trough. Interesting. So there's the jet stream. I love doing this only because it's like, yeah. So you probably saw that too. I'll bet you did see that. And so we just checked it and saw it on the surface. Okay. Enough indulging. These are the watches and warnings from today. Nothing really. A little bit of, it looks like fog. Is that fog down in Texas? Watches, warnings, advisories, air quality alert. Oh, they got some bad air. Pretty warm down there. Dallas, Fort Worth, 90s. Waco, yeah, pretty warm. 5 to 10 degrees above normal. But they got some air quality stuff going on in Texas. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook. It starts on October 6th, okay? So today, that's 5 days from now. And so next week and the following week, so if you're planning up next week, this is what next week looks like, okay? So a little warmer than average. None of this is groundbreaking. It really isn't, but it's interesting. So it's below average. So they're basically saying next week looks a little bit dry, but the following week, but it also is a little above average, so keep our eye on fire. Then we look at earthquakes. They stack up. The lowest one down is the first quake, and then as you go up, 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 those are the subsequent quakes. Like this 6.3 right here, or 6.9, is attached to this earthquake, which happened a while ago. The truth is, I just love the way that map looks. It just looks sick. And earthquakes. These are the one-day all earthquake magnitudes. So in 24 hours, California, right? Think about that. So when you go, I know everybody's like, well, I had an earthquake. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And you do. We got earthquakes every couple minutes. And these happen to be like up in the triple point. That is up by Ferndale, 2.1. Look at the geysers. My first TV job, weather job, was up in Santa Rosa, and these geysers are incredibly assertive for earthquakes. This is in the last 24 hours. How many are there? 6, 10, 20? It's like one every hour. You talk about a cluster of earthquakes. That's amazing. Let's see what that red one went to. 1.1. Oh, that must be the most recent, I guess. And then what we can do is we'll pull out. These are earthquakes around the Pacific Ring of Fire, and let's do the last 7 days big. So the last 7 days big. So there's a big one up at the Cascadia subduction zone. That was a subduction zone mega thrust fault. I was trying to think of that word the other day. But again, why do I do this? I'm not trying to scare you. It's like being scared of, that's a bad example. I was going to use meteors because I'm scared of meteorites. But it's just what's happening. It's just what's happening. This is nonstop. This is all the earthquakes, 2.5 and above, in the last day. That's a lot. Oh, look at Alaska. Look at the West Coast. Look at the United States. This is where 90% of the earth, over 90% of all earthquakes, major earthquakes occur. It's on the Ring of Fire. And you, my friend, and me, we kind of we're living right there. Minnesota Triple Point, geysers, Cascadia subduction zone, San Andreas Fault. It's all here, man. It's all here. It's why the rents are so high. It's just, oh man. Okay, so and then this is the surf, basically just showing you the storm activity around the globe. And I don't see much going on for us. It swells up a little today. Okay. And then this takes us through October. So nothing groundbreaking for the West Coast, but just a beautiful kind of lava lamp-esque shot there. This is Ocean Beach. I'd call that 4 to 5 today. It's real crumbly, rip currents. It's pretty rippy. I did this yesterday in Laguna, but so these waves come in, right? They come in, and then what happens is the water has to go somewhere, so it goes back out. That's all a rip is. That's all it is. And you can see them. Ocean Beach is full of rips. There's a rip there. There's a rip there. There's probably a rip on the other side of that break. There's a rip here. I know. Don't get me started. So it's always funny when people come to the beach, because when I was a kid, I was terrified of rip currents, right? Because people would say, don't turn your, rip currents or they'll get you. They'll get you like they're like an animal or some such. And they're really not. It's just the water has to go somewhere. And so it's really, once you understand that's all it is, the water comes in and the water has to go out. It's pretty damn easy to figure out where you are. Okay, listen to this. This is the Fat Bear contest up at Brooks River. Chunk, that's the winner, the Fat Bear contest. They started off, remember we kind of did that thing. Thank you, CBS News out of Chicago. They kind of did that contest under the gun. I didn't know they were doing it. Because we watched the damn bears for 3 months at Brooks River. That's Chunk. He's kind of dinged up a little bit. He's got a broken jaw. That's why his mouth's all jacked up. But you live to be that old. That's awesome. I don't even know what the numbers are on a bear that big. And then this is Brooks River Falls now. Not really. I think they shut the camera down, actually. Let's say. Yeah, camera's done. And then this is, I was wrong yesterday. This is a buddy of mine, Danny Mack, told me, because I think I said I was in San Diego, but this is Brooks Street, which is a very famous skimboarding / surfing beach in Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach for surfing was very underground, very hard to explain Laguna Beach in the surf community. If you're a surfer, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's not the waves aren't easy to get at. It's kind of rocky and stuff, but it's very, very subculture. Had a little druggy vibe back in the 60s and 70s, really. And all surfing did back then. But this is courtesy of the Surf and Sand Hotel in Laguna Beach. And I love this camera because you're looking at like a 4K image there. That's pretty good for a live camera. They keep the lens clean. But a beautiful day. Laguna Beach today is going to go 73 degrees, which is almost perfect. You got a little bit of cloud cover there. And what do we got here? We got a little international travel. We'll take a look at Lauderdale by the sea. That's Florida. Temperature right now, 82 degrees in Florida. I guess I've never really been to Florida. Tanaki, Springs, Arkansas, or Alaska, pardon me. Tanaki. That's beautiful. Alaska, you know what? Almost been to Alaska a few times. Blue Mountain Lake, New York, 46 degrees. Color is changing. That's stunning. Wow. I gotta get. People make fun of me because I literally I don't go east of I-5 that much. I know a lot of things west of I-5. Yeah, I do go east of I-5, but not very far. Not very far. I've been to the south a little bit. This is London, England. That was where they did the Beatles. Oklahoma City cam. That's pretty. Got a little air quality stuff. Well, that might be that air quality we were seeing in Texas too. Yeah. Remember we saw the air quality alert? This is 73 degrees in Dallas skyline. Let's get one clean one, then we'll go away. Inner Harbor, Baltimore, Maryland, 64 degrees. We live in a beautiful place, don't we? Gulf Beach cam in Pensacola, Florida, 73 degrees. And then the St. Louis Arch. Okay, I think I did it. We did weather off the top. Tell a friend if you feel like it. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Don't likes are fine too, truthfully. And you guys are all, every once in a while I'll get a hater, and I appreciate it. Because, listen, it's easy. I get it, man. It's like, sometimes you don't want to hear it. But yeah, give me any thoughts you have. Comments are always awesome. And I'll try to get back to you. I usually do. There's a couple tools I use, so sometimes it doesn't sound like me, but it's me. Okay. Take care. Have a good day.